quarter. Rosie was onto it, but couldn't take it away. And quickly Hutchinson was able to match it. Bergman was on the move, but Flynn decided to do it with his own boot. Baker couldn't get clear. Knocked away by Farrell.
12 possessions in the first half for Liam Baker. Just wonderful with his score involvements. All of them in the front half of the ground.
Yeah, 3 direct score assists, as well as that goal. Marginally high.
Easy free kick to give away. Got to be better than that.
Burn Jones, direct path to goal, direct path to Butters, and then to Horne-Francis. They're not going to be able to hold them at bay if those guys get clear like that.
Spot on, Jason Horne-Francis. Quiet in the first quarter, 10 disposals in that second quarter. Butters has had 23 for a half, if you don't mind. If he does that again in the second half, I highly doubt that West Coast can hold him off.
11 goals, 12 this year in 14 games.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Thanks, guys.
Mainly singles, the 1-3 goal bag. Can he get this one working through? Get the crowd working up into a frenzy. Delivers the first of the third.
See with that free kick in the middle of the ground, just unnecessary to give away a free kick in that part of the ground. There's nothing to gain. And a goal to lose.
Really no contest thereafter, was it? Just easy to poke their way through it.
Reason to smile for Port fans now.
It's stuck in the middle there, Duggan. Just couldn't get back quick enough.
Port have won 9 third quarters this year. Lost 7, so they've been relatively strong in this time of games after half-time.
Looks like Huff is trying to go more assertive on Butters now. Good tackle.
Ball picked up, but Reid found a way out of this. 17th disposal for Harley Reid. His PB is 29. Hall kicked on coming and got himself into a dangerous spot so he could kick it down to Cripps. Took a couple of goes for Burgoyne. Baker, ready for him that time.
Gee, that was smart by Cripps. He nearly pulled it off. He used his body really well, but just couldn't quite take the mark in the forward 50.
Interesting throw up by Williams. Just leaks out to Alia, who was threatening and then did follow through to give the handball off to Liddy.
He can hardly move Alia.
It's well worked there by Ruben Jimby. Just worked his opponent under the footy.
So Dewar could take the mark and get a re-entry for the Eagles. Williams comes out.
What a grab.
Locked in there, and he wasn't going to let it fall out so close to goal. Again, Alia, I think as you said, Rube, probably normally would be able to get to that.
Well, no Radic Alia on one leg. And Zerk Thatcher just trying to hang on here at the moment. Good strong grab though.
We know you've got to be patient with the big guys, and some young talls coming through. We've seen Shanahan over the last couple of weeks. Jack Williams.
That's a really powerful mark though. These conditions, yeah.
Now he has to do the hard bit. Convert, which he does. That's the tonic for the Eagles at the start of the third quarter.
Well, good footy by the West Coast Eagles. Great stuff in tight by Harley Reid out the centre of the ground. A real strong grab here, though. Williams, Zerk Thatcher just giving him far too much space. I mean, you've got to be right with him. Can't be relying on other players without Radic Alia there. There's no one zoning off and intercepting. Alia can't do it. He's on one leg.
Wasn't meant to be playing today. He was delayed in for Jack Graham. He's kicked 2.
Well, I know it's a well-worn phrase, but much needed. That's their first goal since the 11.5-minute mark of the second quarter. So
we live off well-worn phrases.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Yeah, tremendous grab. That shows them that they're still on track.
Players are still giving us 1 week at a time in post-match interviews, Stern.
That's not going anywhere, that one.
To Horn Francis. And Jones from behind. Well played. Jim quickly on his feet, scampering away. Eagles pressing again. Perfect depth on the kick. Baker arches the back. Couldn't fully get away from Bergman. Got the handball away to Cripps. Thought about that for a kick.
Is that deliberate?
Surely they're not going to penalise him for it.
Insufficient skill.
I'm laughing at you. You're a commentator. You started laughing at the kick, Hutto.
I think Kevin Cripps is having a little smile at himself there.
Yeah, he was a bit stiff that Miles Bergman was the one chasing him. He's got some serious wheels, Bergman. Loved the way Dewar just had the go forward play off the half back line as well. Great kick down the middle.
Flynn to the front. Brockman couldn't read. Gets taken down by Sweet.
Sweetie thought he still had it. This one.
This is the same as the last one now. Can the Port defenders go man-on-man in the air if they bomb it in long?
He was tempted to go short. Angles it up into the... That does suit Aaliyah. And Shanahan.
Didn't look.
Farrell just jammed it out of there. Francis trying to tear away with a footy. This is Reid. Brockman, the Eagles win out. Bit of hesitation on that. Well done, Boak.
Oh,
And Rosie. Yep.
look at that handball.
That was interesting, wasn't it? Butters. He doesn't have to look in the rearview mirror now. It's all straight ahead to Burn Jones. Working back is Georgiades. He went fire Lord. Instead, not far enough to be a mark. So across to Liddy. He takes the mark on the cusp of the 50, and eventually they get to Mitch Georgiades. It took about 4 more possessions than you might have anticipated, but target reached.
We sound like a broken record, but the fact that Butters can take that from the half-back line at express pace turns everyone around further afield, and they're off to the races. It just puts everybody in an Eagles jumper in panic mode. Locate and try and lock down, but they can't do it.
So 2 goals, 2. So far for Mitch Georgiades. What will he add to the collection here? 40 metres out. No, really look like holding it's fine. And a few curses under the breath, but more for the lip readers.
2 goals, 3. Hutto for Mitch Georgiades. Just hasn't got the boots on today.
2-1.
Equally Jesse Hogan there in second place for 40 goals. And the Coleman. 8 behind Jeremy Cameron.
Flynn. After Marek, on to Owies. A little bit of the footy today. His 13th disposal.
He came back at him there.
Does well, Shanahan.
Well done. Oh, there's a leading lane open.
Yeah, and no shortage of offers, was there? Being wooed by his teammates, but he just wasn't quite sure. Tries it on anyway. A little late, and not quite the dimensions he was after. Look at a cross on the slide to Lukosius, gets away from it.
One-handed. Yeah. So the goal kicking is a feature here as well on this scoreline. The Eagles have kicked 5 goals, 1 from set shots, and Port Adelaide have only managed 3 goals, 4. As you can see on your screen, that's having an effect on what they're putting up.
Margin is 10.
Oh, good takeaway.
Lines. He waited, not for Boak, but for Jones in the end. Deep again. Georgiades gets clear. Jimby out of the challenge back the other way. Dewar is able to get around the coaches. Edwards just in the nick of time. Back up along the wing. Excellent take from Hutchinson.
Against Butters too.
Yeah.
Hey, Connor Rosie's gone on the ball too, guys. He's been playing half-back for a fair while. Just keep an eye on Connor.
Off keeping an eye on him for now. Floats one up along the wing. Bailey Williams versus Sweet. He drags it down.
Stay out behind, Tyler.
Just the 2 disposals for Sweet today. He needs to step up.
Some nice ruck work, but as you said, not getting a lot of the footy. Kicks to half forward in the push and shove again. He was able to prevail.
There were a lot of Eagles people critical on him, but Edwards, but I reckon he's turned the corner and he's starting to show some really good signs as a key backman.
They let themselves down on the way out. It was his 7th intercept mark, by the way. Richards belts it forward. Georgiades, good timing. Well done, Bazzo. Doesn't give up. Georgiades has no means to get the ball to boot. Thumped into the turf. There's appeals for a dangerous tackle, but they go unheeded.
Gee, that was a hard tackle in modern football.
Have a look here. That one let it,
103.
let it hold a while.
I think he's a little bit lucky the way that ended up.
Oh, yeah. Should have been handed, couldn't he? Back into play. Georgiades wrestling with Jimby on the goal line. Bazzo cops it from Burne-Jones. They're hungry here, Port Adelaide.
Yeah. Crowder involved now. Shawnee as well.
Yeah, they are. They're really vocal behind me as well. So they're really getting into this game right now.
Goal each in this quarter. Georgiades! Oh, into the post. 2 goals, 4 for Mitch. Quickly back in. Cole, Edwards, and Wines coming after him, so he felt reasonably comfortable he could get away.
That was a good option. Good option then. If he had gone longer down the line, Zerk Thatcher had come out to try and meet that ball. Oh, look, all the Eagles on one side, Port on the other. Now they start to cover each other.
Edwards playing loose behind the ball. If Port win it and try and get it forward, they'll have to negotiate him. Jones trying to do just that. Ran into a host of West Coast players. Baker, is it collected high? No. Head was down, the umpire said. Pinched by Richards. Quickly, stylishly, out of the left boot. Haven't seen a lot of Willie Rioli as a West Coast premiership player. But when we've seen him, oh, he delivered. Bergman doesn't mark and doesn't goal.
Yeah, that was Willie Rioli's second disposal. Their forward line just hasn't got enough options at the moment. Jack Lukosius only had the 3 disposals. Willie Rioli just his second there. Sean Bergman, what's happening with Lukosius? He's not having the impact he had last week.
No, well, he needs to get on the move, and they've got to honour his lead-ups. He's not the type of guy or forward to kick it on his head and compete 1v1. You've got to get him on the lead.
Jones was the juggler. And then goes to Georgiades. Here is Lukosius.
Just with the Lukosius, it's almost on the kicker to create the opportunity for Lukosius. You know he's not a power forward. Yeah, as Shawnee said, he's not going to stand under it, or if he does, he's a low percentage to actually mark that ball. You've got to create space for him, and you've got to make him lead into that space with the kick.
West Coast battling on here. Oh, getting mild boos at the stage.
That's not uncommon at a Port home game for anyone, I don't know. Even the Benro Riders.
What about you, Ruben?
Benro Riders.
Nah, it's only good spirit down there,
He just points to his stand.
especially if they're winning.
Wines feeds it out to Richards. He's looking dangerous, isn't he? Off the left. Perfectly geared for that one.
He's got a shot, hasn't he, Rube? That being a long-term small forward. He's got some craft. Starts in behind his opponent. McCarthy gets drawn to the ball. That is the epitome of the opportunistic goal. Ollie did so well then, holding the footy and accurate handball.
Port have kicked 4 of the last 5 now.
Yeah, they kicked 5-3 since quarter time. Now 5-6-3-2, in fact. So they've had plenty of shots on goal. But Richards, yeah, he's been a handy pickup. There's no doubt about it. He's kicked the 12 goals for the year. As we said earlier, getting better and better. And yeah, good recruiting by Port Adelaide. And do need to get a little bit stronger in that area.
At some stage, they're going to have to bring Liam Baker up onto the ball.
Flynn guides it well for Hewitt. Didn't quite get there, but stayed up on his feet. Baker wants it back again. Instead by Hutchinson. Out of the tackle, survived it. There's Bergman back, helping out in the back half and then sending it forward, thrusting it out wide. Richards versus Cole. Ball dislodged. Wines trying to feed it back to him, uses Liddy instead. Georgiades, nice little lead. Oh, he dropped it. Exerted himself to break clear and then was already thinking about the long ball.
Did so well, Liddy, as well. He came from the back flank. He really followed hard down the field there.
Sad story, Matty Liddy. His 4th game, had serious issues with sepsis last year. Recovered in time with his form in the SAFL to be picked up in the mid-season draft. Rosie's handball eventually arrives with Lord. We saw, yeah. Farrell's left foot kick was touched. Jimby leaves it behind for Boat, but he had no means of getting the handball. Stayed in, winds, sets it up. Lukosius, how's he going to manage this? Back to Drew, not often a goal kicker. Horn Francis.
Trying.
Doesn't need much, but didn't get the shape right, did he, in the kick?
Guys, there's Connor Rosie. He grabbed his arm straight away, as you just mentioned, and the docs have got him now. So it looks like it's a finger or arm, maybe dislocated finger. So he's getting that treated now.
Oh, really? You pull them in yourself, don't you?
I never had one, ever.
You're kidding.
Nah.
You didn't mark it enough then.
Well, you take it cleanly, you don't dislocate it.
I knew he'd have an answer.
Been safely into Hutchinson. Now they're really bearing down here within 2 points.
It's a good game now.
Midpoint of this 3rd quarter. A shortage of flyers for Shanahan and Bailey Williams. Flynn was still out of soccer. And Bashir again. Line wins. He might be...
Whenever you kick it off the ground, red card.
There's a chance to get it in.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, didn't really take that into account, did they? As a pokey little pass, not worthy of a mark. Doesn't worry the unflustered Butters. He kicks it wide for Boak or Richards. Well done, Boak. Knew exactly what to do. So Richard, look at Lord. He's made a good, strong lead. Can he hold on? He didn't quite get the protection. And it's a free kick against Georgiades instead.
Yeah, he was trying to protect the back of Lord, so just trying to unbalance Ruben Jimmy. Yeah, they've lost their bravery by foot, the Eagles. They were trying to go back into the corridor. They were possessing it. Just need to find that handle again. They'll get it here. That's 3 marks in a row. And now they get locked up.
So his kick there is long down the line. He's found a one-on-one to give Williams an opportunity. Jones, Baker ready to tackle. Farrell knew it was coming. Zirk Thatcher through the middle. Found a bit of rare space up the ground. Wasn't the best kick in the world. Has to be said, work to do for Jackson. Bazzo, both keep it in front. Jackson, the benefits of staying on your feet. Curls it back for Georgiades. So he dropped it again. It is a greasy ball. When Francis couldn't squirm out of there with footy. You can see how hard it is for everyone to hold on to it. Jones is actually tackling his teammate there.
Port Adelaide's pressure's come up in this 3rd quarter up to 200, and West Coast has gone from 200 back to 165, so they've really dropped off here, the Eagles.
He's taking some time to get repaired.
Beautiful tap.
Yeah, Jackson off to Richards again. Georgiades, this one's not easy.
We've barely seen Willie Rioli this game, and the boundary line throw in here. Your time, Willie. Get amongst it.
Strolls over, as we said, against his old team. Continues to dominate the clearances. Early leap from Lord. He's going to be penalised for it.
He was tracking Willie then. He didn't even look at the throwing. He was looking away, trying to give a block.
He's not really having a crack, Willie.
No, I don't know if he's match fit.
Almost got a chance there.
He doesn't look to be working all that hard, Roo.
No. That's why he's got 1 touch, 2 touches.
Hutchinson, and there is a little escape path for him there.
He allows him to run away as well.
Belts it up along the wing, out of the reach of Burgoyne. Williams turned at the right moment. Jones wouldn't let him get fully clear. Liddy's hands, creative, effective through the middle. Horn Francis had it once, now he's got it a second. Tried to put it on the platter, but just not quite connecting, are they, with Lukosius's frustration is showing.
But he led correctly then. That was the right lead. He identified the space. He got out wide. It just came in a little low, a little flat.
Look at that territory domination.
Horn Francis had 13 kicks. He's kicking at 38%. The Connor Rosie's had 7 at 29%.
Free kick to Butters here. Julie infringe it. So Zach Butters, as we mentioned,
Yeah, he faked the kid into that.
he's only kicked 1 goal this year.
It's a free kick, Roo. They're lucky they're playing in this era. You've got a bit of interest yesteryear for that.
He's had an incredible season. He's an amazing player. You just have to keep him at this football club. But he'd like to hit the scoreboard and be a bit straighter off the boot. Seems it's contagious at the moment for Port. That's 7 goals, 10.
Guys, there's Connor Rosie just testing that finger out. I'd expect him to try come on and give it a crack in a minute or two.
Thank you, Silk. McCarthy's kick up along the wing is well handled by Zerk Thatcher. Just can't get it out of there.
No, it's a good win by Zerk Thatcher.
Man, look at that. Shows a bit of flourish and finesse. Maybe he shouldn't have done the finessing.
Yeah, well, that's the last 2 kicks he's had. The other one got flared out to the other wing, and it should have been an easy kick to make. So I think they kind of they pull away from Zerk Thatcher and allow him to be the kicker.
Sorry, Dermot. Port Adelaide kicked 5 goals, 8-6 since quarter time. The kicking's just hurting at the moment in front of goals.
Yeah, 3-5 from set shots through. Back in dispute, leading. Walter Hewitt tackle.
Jordan, Bailey, back this way. Back this way.
Sweet. Juan Francis, he did his level best to get out of there, but
I love that, how he's trying to fight his way out rather than just absorb the tackle and fake that you've had too little time. Well played. That's what footy should be.
Champion up there on the wing. Zerk Thatcher again.
Just getting on top those key defenders.
Oh, Harley was moving, was it?
So easy to do.
Well, let's see what old Zerk Thatcher tries this time with his footwork. No, he's got a handball. Off to Farrell. Sam Chooks.
He can kick it.
He can kick it and kick it deep. Georgiades, they were ready for him. It's stretched from Flynn. It's a high on Bazo.
The Eagles are going to try and find a way to get to 3/4 time without letting Port kick too many more goals here.
Can't allow himself to get beaten. Bailey Williams again, he has.
Thatcher almost drags down another mark. Instead, it's Reid. He puts it out into open country. Aaliyah can't get there easily. He's going to round it up. And off to Jace Burgoyne. Cornered by Shanahan. And caught.
Wasn't falling for it. He didn't really put a step on. He's better than that, Jace Burgoyne. Oh, Silk, teach him something, will you?
Shanahan went super short to Baker. Can't take the mark. And can't strike the tackle. Right, Carroll then had to plead with the umpire to not penalise him.
Great tackle. Yeah, Liam was looking for the boundary line then.
Hey guys, I thought Adelaide have made their sub. Connor Rosie, as you see, he's got the vest on, obviously. That finger's causing me a bit too much trouble, and Will Lorenz will come on.
Thank you, Sean. What a marking threat he is.
He's sweet as a ladder.
Georgiades to half forward. Bazo at jungle. Burn Jones from the ground. Richards a bounce. And misses his opportunity for the third.
That was the handball.
To see how when he was running at goals, he didn't keep running straight. He felt the need to run out to the right and then hooked it around.
He just ran that little chicane, didn't he?
Well, he probably hasn't had many opportunities in his career where there's no one in front of you. You just got to execute it and try and, under enormous sort of pressure, just execute a good technique. He couldn't do it.
This is where the Eagles forwards have to bring the ball to ground and give their smaller players a chance at ground level.
Duggan up along the wing. Aaliyah back to Butters. Screws it in. Barrett takes the mark.
Oh, he's got Reid ahead.
It's very wide. Not ideal service. Drew tracking him every step of the way. Now, is he going to be penalised for that? Yes, he is.
That's stiff.
Willem Drew's gone to Harley Reid since half-time because Reid had 16 disposals. He was their most dangerous player, so he just tried to go forward, Harley Reid, to get away from Drew. Drew's followed him forward as well, so really shut him down. Only had the 3 touches in this third quarter.
He wasn't seeking touch, but he just tried to keep the ball in front of him, and the boundary line happened to be there.
Standard kick towards the toss. Oh, Flynn found himself as the sharker.
West Coast still got their sub, Noah Long. Will Lorenz into the game.
For the first time for some time, the Eagles give their backline a little bit of respite.
Scores are now level. Gradually cut that margin back, mainly by behinds.
Thank you.
In this third quarter, 2 goals, 5-1 straight. How valuable a goal here would be for the Eagles. And Harley get on the move and do it himself. He's underneath there. He looked at Hewitt, Butters to deal with. There's Baker. They're probably the likely 3, really. Brockman and Owies, I guess, is the more regular small forwards.
There's some experience. He needs to do his shoelace up so he stays right in the middle of where they're going to throw it up.
One of the amazing players, Hewitt. Jackson off to Horn Francis. Without Rosie, he's going to be pivotal for Port. The stumbling Rioli, Cripps took it, and in a flash, he kicked it forward. He had the up Shanahan. Now he's got the opportunity to have the snaps. No.
He actually thought his way through that really well. I like how the boy didn't get panicked then.
Yeah, he's going to be a player, dude.
Yeah.
So's Hewitt. You can see here he's got plenty of tricks.
Take the lead back. Just the 1 goal, 1 for the quarter for West Coast.
It's a good view, that, isn't it? Willie Rioli right at the top. If it goes the length of the ground.
Sunday stroll for Farrell.
Yeah, let's see if Willie can get back to the goal square.
Ward sets himself on the side, but again, Edwards takes another intercept mark and a poke in the eye. Might be hard to take his next one. That's 8.
Yeah, we can't release it because if it comes back at any speed, he won't see it.
Not much fun getting poked in the eye.
We used to one-eyed supporters, but
The kid.
takes the mark.
He can play, this kid. He's got a good one.
So they've actually, over the last 6 weeks, not been too bad at transferring the ball from the half-back line inside forward 50. But all year long, they've just struggled to clunk the ball inside forward 50. But a jump like this is really good for their future.
195 with a big leap. He'll be okay. He's a big man. They are a lot taller than that, some of these forwards these days, but he can jump at it.
Of course, without Oscar Allen and Jake Waterman, has provided opportunities for the next generation of West Coast Eagles. And the teenager, Job Shanahan, is showing he belongs. They fight on.
Well, you talk about green shoots, Derm. He is definitely a green shoot.
He's a big shoot.
He's a big shoot. But you love key forwards. There's the finger in the eye from Ollie Lord. A little bit clumsy, really. But
Looked like the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. The rake of the eye. Accidental.
not real good to look at. But Shanahan, on the other hand, have a look at him jump. You love key forwards that go at the ball and jump and get it at its highest point. That's what makes defenders nervous, makes a couple of them go up in the air, and at least if he doesn't mark it, the small forwards know where to crumb. He's going to be a great player for a very long period of time for the Eagles.
It's just a good old-fashioned launch.
Just 18 years of age from Moama. Played a bit of AFL footy to head of the draft with Essendon. Bailey Williams reinvigorated the Eagles here.
And that's what they got to do. The Eagles just get games into these kids, Hutto. They're just going to play them early, surround them with some experience that are good role models, good influences on them, and just get time into them.
And with a rare clearance will do that. No, they won first possession, but not the clearance. Well, that's a delayed play on. Workman strides away, gives it plenty. Georgiades again. The fist was good at the front from Bazzo. Awkward. Fatua crashed up with the Richards tackle. No immediate whistle. And now it's holding the ball.
Yeah. Held the ball to his chest, Roo, didn't he? But he just made no effort to get the ball out. He looked up with the puppy dog eyes to the umpire.
Andrew McCall is a pretty unflappable character, but he's desperately hoping for a second win, and he's riding this all the way.
Well, he's lining up for number 3 here. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. He's been this is perhaps his best game.
Yeah, very handy pickup. Collingwood didn't want to lose him, but as we mentioned before, they identified this was an area they really needed to get better. Someone who could run up the ground and then get back and be dangerous close to goal. Oh, my goodness. He could have kicked 4. That's 2 misses, really gettable goals. And
Dangerous, all right. They just keep missing set shots.
yep.
What are they up to now? 3-5, 3-6 from set shots.
3-6. So that is a real dodge of a bullet from the West Coast Eagles.
Hang on.
They're 6-1, as you see, so they've been fine marksmen this afternoon in front of goal. Big leap from Brockman, a lead, play on the call, Cole, and they get to three-quarter time. Butters and Cole, words exchanged. There's feeling out there in this one. Anyone who is expecting that Port Adelaide at home would find that West Coast, given their history, would be easy beats this afternoon and this evening, has had to think again. The Eagles, can they hang on and claw their way to their second win of the season? Only time will tell. You've got your Sunday ticket. I'll be without their captain. We'll find out next.
All right, there we go. Three-quarter time here at Adelaide Oval. It's the West Coast Eagles fighting back 9-6-60, leading Port Adelaide 7-12-54. I tell you what, the Eagles, the Port Adelaide, they're missing some shots. There we go. Let me just read this out. Port Adelaide, 2 goals, 6. 2 goals, 6. Hey, I think I heard Rose went off the ground early. I think I was at the other game. I was doing the other game, and someone said Rose went off. I'm not 100% sure what happened to him. I know one of the other players went off with apparently, I don't know whether his finger got dislocated and then it wasn't too good or something when it went back in. But I'm not sure. Flashes Transport, how you going? Bickish Sapkopa, how you doing? Port Adelaide in that third term, 2 goals, 6, just wayward kicking. Probably should have been in front. They had some great play, but just couldn't finish their good work off. And of course, the Eagles, 2 goals, 1 only in that third term. I tell you what, it was good. It was good, even though Port Adelaide missed a few there on song for a cracking final quarter here. Of course, 11 points was the margin at half time. Now it's just back to 6 points, 1 straight kick in it. Who's going to win it? Is he back on the pitch now? I don't think Rose's on the ground. I haven't heard him called because I've only been here for 1 quarter. I haven't heard him being called on the ground yet. So we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep a listen out for him, and we'll just we'll see if he's on the ground there for you. All right, there we go. Let's just poke over here and have a look at the goal scorers up until three-quarter time. And for the West Coast Eagles, Jack Williams has got 2. Williams, Shanahan and Reid, Flynn, DeWar and Tyler Brockman with Liam Baker all singles. Cheers, mate. No worries, Theo. And, of course, for Port Adelaide, 2 goals to Joey Richards, Mitch Georgiadis, Jason Horn-Francis, Darcy Byrne-Jones had a great few passages of play then. Miles Bergman also got the single goals there for Port Adelaide. Looking at the ball magnets out here at the moment, of course, Zach Butters, as always, has a cracking game. The only one in the 30s, and I'll tell you what, he's 10 clear. 30 touches Zach Butters has had, 16 kicks, 14 handballs, 4 marks, 2 tackles, 5 clearances and a behind. Harley Reid, best for the West Coast Eagles. He's having a good game too. Great to see him playing some good football. 20 touches, 15 kicks, 5 handballs, 6 tackles, 4 clearances, 1 goal, 2. Doing a good job. Jason Horn-Francis, as always, plays well. He's on 20 there for Port Adelaide. Connor Rose there, he was on 16, so we'll keep a listen out to see if he is actually on the ground. Well, there we go, number 1 for at Port Adelaide, so we'll keep an eye out for him. I'm sure if he's still on the ground, we'll definitely hear him. But I can't remember hearing him in that third quarter there. All right, there we go. Someone else might be able to let us know if he's on or off. Liam Baker there, 15 touches there. for the Eagles. Who else we got there? Manny Liddy, 13 for Port Adelaide. Travis Boak, just 12 touches there for Port Adelaide, 2 clearances, just the 2 kicks, 10 handballs for him. Georgiades has been a little bit askew. Dropped a couple of marks there. He should have marked them. 11 touches, 2 goals for. Unlike Georgiades to be kicking so wayward. There we go. Darcy Byrne-Jones, as I said, in a couple of good passages of playing that third term, up to 10 touches. There are your player stats so far. Let's go head back down to the ground for the final quarter.
He found it really hard to open and close his hand. He was going really well, went on ball, had the 16 disposals up until that time, but we'll go through the vision here. As you can see, slips over and then cops a hand and instantly knew once he'd had contact to that hand, something was wrong and came straight off. And he tried to persist, but I think there's a bit too much pain in that hand. So obviously sub straight out for Will Lorenz, and West Coast made a tactical sub with Champion off and Noel Long on.
There we go. So Rose went off with a hand injury partway through that third quarter. So he is out of the game now.
Just on an outstretched, straight finger motion.
So well along into the play. So both teams have lost the champion, haven't they, at three-quarter time? Roo, Ken Hinkley has... we look at that reminder of the record of West Coast at Adelaide Oval. They've lost their last 9 games here by big margins too.
Yeah.
And Ken Hinkley would have been expecting to win this game today as his coaching career comes to an end. Just 6 weeks to go. Game 291 today.
Yeah, I think it's an average losing margin of 68 points, and they find themselves 6 points up here. So let's wait and see what happens in this last quarter. Ken Hinkley would not want to lose to the bottom-ranked side. It'd be the final nail in the coffin, you'd think, for the season and his coaching career. So can he inspire him at three-quarter time and get him over the line on the home deck?
And mathematically at least keep their finals hopes alive. West Coast lead by 6 points. Going into the final term, can they convert it to their second win? Oh, Port Adelaide, there's a rattling of bones. Richards, who's playing some sort of game, holds on and takes the mark.
Is it a free kick or the mark?
I think the mark. The ball is kicked to full forward. Jimby first at it in the air.
Never kicked 3 goals, Richards. Let's have a look at this contest.
Next mark, Jordan.
Went down as a mark. Okay.
He's got 2-2. Yeah, he's never kicked 3 before, Richards.
Port Adelaide have only won 2 final quarters for the whole season. I wonder if that's something that Minnie McGolden referenced. Rioli, they do have dangerous players, and interesting technique to hold Georgiades at bay. It was sort of a tackle, wasn't it, in some ways?
He's just not working for Willie today. Normally he'd bang that into the 15th row.
So have to smile about it. See if he can take some remedial action here. It's an area where Port have been dominant.
Moses is trying to get on the move, trying to draw a free kick as well.
Dewar has a watching brief there. The tap down. Reid looks across the ground. Saw the run of Hall.
Nonetheless, it's a good miss, that one.
Little standoff with Boak, and he does squeeze a little kick out. Goes longer than most expected. Can Brockman get back onto the footy? No, Aaliyah, but it bounces instead to Baker, who takes it wide to Shanahan, and Bergman, who's his opponent. That's interesting.
Yeah, Bergman's gone back, has he? They look a little bit fragile back there with Aaliyah's bung knee and no Radicalea, so
it was just a swap, I think.
Interesting too that Shanahan, just for the last few minutes of the set quarters 2 and 3, just goes into the back line, just trying to just soak up a little bit of that.
And he's played plenty of back line in the waffle. Long feeds it back. Hutchinson, not easy for anyone to mark that. Even Aaliyah, it fell instead for the young man now. He's going to be tackled by Farrell. Quicker whistle that time. Shanahan.
Just made the contact and then couldn't break free to the drop of the ball there, Aaliyah. Normally he'd gobble that up.
Sweet, didn't quite know what to do with it. Flynn likewise just dropped it, winds. Happy to hack it 40 metres. Happier now. Richards has the mark straight into action. Used the presence of Butters to put a little step on it. Then he does. Handball to the superstar. He takes the corner at half back. Possession 31 is delivered to Byrne-Jones. Richards is coming along for the ride. He's the shepherder, but now he tries to be the receiver with Horn Francis. It's an accidental high contact there. And Georgiades has got Edwards one-on-one for now. Lukosius kind of holds into his leading lane for now. Or is he going to put a block on of some sort? Let's see how they do this. Well, Georgiades made the lead. Juan Francis didn't go there. Just sets it up, and it's Burn Jones who flies quickly out of their duo. Hurry kick Duggan. And Bergman. Attentive and on duty, and here they come again. Deep again. Lukosius was the leaper. Richards up against the line. Was he tripped? Georgiades. It went high.
High.
Yep. Slipped up.
Yeah, Liam Duggan doesn't like it. He's annoyed. He thinks that was good. Players can give you a real... Well, sometimes you know the players are banging it on, trying to suck the umpire in, and sometimes you can just see a touch of the sportsmanship in them, or they go back at the other bloke, the other player. Shouldn't be too hard for him.
You know how difficult it's been in front of the sticks today. There's a bit to work through here. He's more than capable. 6 scores, only 2 goals. It remains the case.
Another one for the lip readers. 2-5.
Yeah. 7 from 10 set shots. And with McCarthy. Shots to go left. Had the one-on-one, but the result is after Zerk Thatcher.
Bailey Williams is getting pushed to the boundary line side of those marking contests. He's got to be better than that. He's experienced now.
Oops. Yeah. Just for Farrell. Now Butters. When's he going to go? Now into Farrell. He can kick it deep, and he can kick it well for Burn Jones.
What a kick.
He knows his role, Darcy Burn-Jones, plenty of pressure and grunt, but he also knows that when the moment calls for it.
What a pure kick by Farrell.
And he shows them how. Port Adelaide back in front. Just the second time today they've hit the lead.
So I'm going to put that, and I cut a lot of slack to a lot of the key forwards because of the delivery on Bailey Williams. He just gets pushed sideways by Zerk Thatcher. And Zerk Thatcher isn't a powerhouse. That's the 3rd time in this second half he's been pushed off the drop of the ball, and then it's just mark, kick, mark, kick. And they give it to Farrell, and he spots it up.
I think the last time they were in front, Hutto, was about the first minute of the game, was it?
It's early. First goal. It's Georgiades at start. And since then, Jones is a multiple goal kicker, so is Richards. So now it's back to the West Coast Eagles. But Draw's kick, allowed out on the wing. Carthy versus Boak. The veteran. We'll play Duggan though. Shake the hips at the right time. See if he can step his way out of there, McCarthy. Low along the line on the bounce for Aaliyah. Shanahan kept him honest, but Liddy plays it back.
Oh, that was a clash of heads.
He's gone down Sim, but getting back to his feet. Footy heading into his area. That was high. And long.
He's not going to come up too high long, is he?
No. Here's a replay of...
Oh, just missed.
Clips it in short to Jimby. Jack Williams, Brockman in the goal square. The footy is heading their way. Shanahan and Aaliyah as well. No real leapers. Instead, it's fists all round.
Willie Rioli was standing the mark there. When he played on, he did not even chase him off the mark.
No, he doesn't look fit at the moment to me.
So as we mentioned, already made their sub. Aussie, finger injury. So it stays out there for now. We'll hook back into play. Liddy, oh, sliding. One umpire said no, and the other said, oh.
I or mine?
Okay, mine. Right, sorry. Up it goes, back in motion. Both ruckmen holding onto each other. Hewitt. Malia just had the luxury of it at the moment to look down the line, but
What's in the back? Jeepers.
thrusting forward, play on was Sin. Butters turning his body so too long. Bazzo, Hall, they just divert the danger, but eventually the misplaced handball, but we gifted back the other way, and Hutchinson takes it. Barely a moment to dispose of the footy. Long into the pocket. Oh, Shanahan diving away, no mark. Alir hasn't got hold of that properly. Still, they have a chance, but Ryan's too strong. And Clem keeping the ball out of it. Let's see the method now for Port Adelaide. Slenderest of lead. That's a good kick. Will Jones.
Just even in that moment there, you see Ollie Wines, all that experience, game 268 against a 10-gamer.
It's scrappy, but
Kick.
effective. Rioli charging out, driving. Rioli basically turned around and the footy came to him.
Hit him on the chin. Yeah, I don't know if Willie worked all that hard for that one, but one thing he can do, he can finish.
Sure can.
Guys, you saw that big clash before with Sin, with the head clash. He's just coming off now with the trainer. Just have a look at it.
He had concussion a few weeks ago too, Sean, I reckon, or maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
Well, he seems to be holding his arm, so...
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if they clashed heads or just got hard hit in the shoulder.
Here's a beautiful kick. 25 goals, 9 coming in today. That is not a great exhibit of his skill early on.
It's the kick of somebody who's a little bit tight.
It's the kick of just about every Port Adelaide player today.
Yeah, true.
He's had a shoulder injury before too, Sin. He's unfortunately had a few injuries in his short career.
Too many. Collarbone as well. Duggan, he took the ball and then he really had no inclination to do that.
Yeah, that's one the umpire could have blown on him then, and the whistle and said, no, made no real attempt to get the ball out. He got away with one there.
Still 13 minutes to go. This is an area they've been dominant all day. That was high on Reid.
You just feel like a star from one of the sides is going to come up and do something there. It's a bit flat.
We're in a stalemate here at the moment.
We need someone to do something special.
There's a few that can. This is one of them. Harley Reid.
Who's thinking of that?
Changed his mind, reconsidered.
Well, he didn't sell the dummy. He thought he was going to try and sidestep him, but he never sold the first movement.
Surely he's not blaming his blokes down the field for that. He was the one who decided to pull back and then come in a bit.
We're going back along the lines. That's the response.
So the thing is, you got to go hard one way and commit someone like Will and Drew to smother that ball. Then you put the sidestep on. Got to get representation forward of it.
Shanahan,
Jack Williams has to get to the base of this.
Jack Williams and Flynn. They're all there. There's Flynn. Baker off the left boot. Just behind that time, Shanahan.
God, he's been brave, Lee. I mean, obviously nowhere near 100% fit coming into the game. Gets a little tweak early on in the contest. Has to stay out there. He's been brave.
Is there enough length on the kick? No. Long.
Oh, he's worn one for his troubles there. Little
Got a good Thatcher here to just soften the blow a bit, Dern. Josh Sin getting some work on the shoulder.
Doesn't look very comfortable, does he?
no.
Bit of a lone hand for Harley Reid for the clearance front for the Eagles. Belted around the footy, but haven't they been brave overall? There he is again. Oh, Horn-Francis got him once and a second time.
Yeah, Horn-Francis has been holding back all day on Harley Reid. He's just taking deep breaths. He's not getting sucked into Harley, but as soon as he had half an opportunity to give him one, he gave him a good strong tackle with a little bit of mayo on top.
4 free kicks against Harley Reid for the day. Whack forward by Drew. Hoping to connect with Burn Jones, who's still going at it.
Fought well.
Stewart picked it up, then lost it. Cole has to put in a bit of overtime. Flips the ticket.
Burn Jones was fantastic then. He had to keep his feet. He had to stay strong over the ball in the first contest. Well, this is literally a game of inches in this last quarter, isn't it?
Behind all of the tap.
Oh, he's gone for the duck.
He did go for the duck.
So that one, I can't understand why when the umpire recognises he's ducked, why isn't it holding the ball? Your prior opportunity was when you ducked.
Yeah, if they come through head first is when they really play it as prior, but after that it's a bit of interpretation. But certainly know what you're saying, Dan.
Yeah. Well, watch him go straight into the... So, yeah, that's over the shoulder. And if the umpire says, I'm not paying it because you dropped into it, that's your prior.
Caught by 2. Can they build on that lead here? Winds underneath. Burn Jones. Any old how to get at the square. Georgiades, awkward. Jimby puts the head down. Free kick.
Yeah, he's a big kid, Reuben Jim, but he ain't going to bullock his way through while he winds.
Was that high? Yep.
Oh, he's giving him some afters too.
He's got fractures here, and Harley goes back. You better be careful.
Good on you, Flinty. He stood up for his younger teammate.
That was a mini kick, like the coach. Oh, good hassle from Burn Jones. Somehow they're going to alert the crisis here. Yeah,
Oh,
they're interesting in the right play. But now get your eyes back on the right footy because Port have got a goal opportunity coming up to Ollie Lyons.
That's worth a look at. That. Yeah, just you can't do that. Clench fist. I know it's only travelled about 6 inches, but it's to the head. There's no need for it. All right, back with Ollie.
Andrew McWalter, a variation on the John Longmire hand over the mouth. He's got the collared tracksuit top, which you can cover his mouth with and curse and mutter as his team tries to stay in the fight. Ollie Lyons, that just continues the trend. Georgiades is there, though. Well defended. They defy him again.
Let's have a look at the double fist. You can't do that. It's 50 at the very least.
He's been controlled all game, but he's just starting to lose a little bit.
I reckon Harley probably has that effect on him.
Hutchinson prepared to go with a bit of Hoppo-Bompo as well. Through the middle, links out to Reed.
Is that a throw?
They took the snap. Now they're going head-to-head, face-to-face. And Ollie Lord recognises that he's into him. Sort of like they're looking in the mirror a bit, isn't it?
You got the feeling that they're going to be at each other for the next decade.
Yeah, so much talent. They love the rough and tumble of it all, the contest.
Speaking of decades, Trav Boak well into his second decade of AFL football. Can he make it a
19th season, dude.
Yeah.
381st game. What a champion he's been for this football club. And when others have failed, Travis Boak does not falter. He will enjoy every last moment and every last goal of a magnificent career.
Yep, he has been a superstar. He was under pressure earlier on this year. He's played some SANFL footy. He's had some injuries. He's had a bad back. There's the Harley read. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Get a handball out of the centre of the ground, probably trying to get it out of the danger zone, but quite rightly called a throw. Seems to spend a lot of time talking and umpiring and into the crowd, doesn't he? But
Ollie Lord came over and tried to make sure that Ford Francis backed away because he could see a reversal coming.
Not a bad time for Harley to have a little break. They do need his skills and clearance ability in the middle.
And can West Coast fire another shot? They've been good at the start of the game. They've been just drifting off slowly. Can they find another gear somehow and get some scoreboard pressure on Port Adelaide?
Hutchinson had some choices. He goes long and straight down the line. Rockman couldn't get to it. Knocked away. Butters onto it. Jones through the middle. And Francis posting up back to Lockie Jones. Options everywhere. Lukosius wanted it in front of him. Cleared his head instead. Rioli couldn't stop Jimby, although it did stunt the kick, but got it safely to Barrett. Still alive to fight another day. 8 minutes 25 remaining in a surprisingly compelling contest here at the Adelaide Oval. Hoff, shortest legally allowed, finds Barrett.
It's a good run, though. It's just, you knew down the line they were choked up.
It's from here that matters, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He comes away. Can he find a marker up on the 50? A juggle from Lord, a good push from Burgoyne at the prime moment, and kicks to Richards.
Except for that kick into the forward 50, that's sort of been their best ball movement for a little while. They've been really stale, West Coast, for a couple of quarters.
Yeah.
And that's just not good enough defence.
Absolutely, and then off to Burris. A little superstar, kicks it very wide, but stays in the field of play. Marked by Lukosius.
One more goal, Port Adelaide, will be enough for them, I think, the way West Coast are going.
Big space if he's just 35 metres ahead. He's going to drop it in there.
All Eagles. Edwards not going for the intercept mark that time.
And Lukosius really quiet, second up, 5 disposals, 2 points after a great game against Brisbane last week.
Coaches at the opposite end of their journeys, of course. Peter McQualter, first year really feeling the heat as a senior coach. Just the one win. The second is still within the realms, but they're going to have to defend well here to keep Port at bay. Bodies on every angle.
It looks like cold cramp then.
West Coast kicked 6 goals in the opening term, only 3 sets. Umpire issues the instructions and the demands. Bailey Williams on Francis. Oh, did it get through?
They missed it.
Ridiculous, but sublime. Paul Francis kicks the goal and might have the last laugh. And Butters lets them know all about it. Umpires would like to restart play, but they just might not have any players to do it with.
Well, there's sore losers and there's bad winners.
Here's the replay.
Does it nutmeg him? He just misses it. It drops on that bounce and he's a big man, can't get to it.
Butters couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Well, I said the Stars had to step up to try and win the game. Horn Francis has definitely, he had 2 disposals in the first quarter. He's been great since quarter time. Butters has been good all night.
Oh, somebody tell him don't poke your tongue out between your teeth when you're wrestling. Somebody only needs to push up on your jaw and you lose your tongue. Jeez.
Still 7 minutes to go, so there's still time. But everything is pointing Port Adelaide's way. Jackson gets it in there. Georgiades in front. It's overwhelming at the moment.
Well played. Good scrap, good fight in the midfield, and the forward recognises that trigger moment. It's going to be a scrappy kick coming forward, and he, on that trigger moment, makes the front position. Nothing the backman can do.
2-5 he's kicked.
Just 2-5. Jeez.
Thought he was in for it the big day. Double figures, what he was thinking.
3 goals, 2 so far in this quarter, to no score for the Eagles.
And kicked the last 3. And he wheels that one home. Just massive relief.
Well, he's now on his own in second place in the Coleman medal. Not that he's thinking about that, but he's up to 41 goals now. He's got Port Adelaide across the line, you'd think.
It was always a chance to happen, wasn't it? You got a midfield of Hall, Hewitt, Reid, Marriott, Hutchinson. They're so young. And so you see now the Eagles have put Tom McCarthy in there as a 25-year-old. He's only playing his 4th game, but he's 25. So they just need some more senior bodies in there. They've been brave, the Eagles, that young midfield, but they've just been outlasted.
To 45 goals now, Mitch Georgiani's little handoff. And then into Wines. Butters had one possession, he's got a double up here. So it's possession 36 coming up for Zach Butters. Without the captain in the last quarter. And finishing full of running at the moment. It's going to take a huge turnaround here for West Coast. And they might just about be out of tickets. Certainly taking it up to Port Adelaide, though. It's a really willing contest. So he'll tap down to Butters. And a free kick going to Zach Butters for the shove. Well, Harley and Francis, they're at it again. Butters umpiring again. A bit of a sideshow here. That's a free kick. With a tap, Horn Francis. Again, more class sprinkled over the Adelaide Oval. The actions are doing the talking from Jason Horn Francis. What a goal. What a way to have the last word.
Well done, Jason. Look at Harley Reid, right with Horn Francis. Didn't go with him and he made him pay. Have a look at Horn Francis give it to him. That's what footy's all about. One-on-one contests. Balls against balls. He didn't. That's the first time tonight Harley hasn't said anything to someone.
Well, let's talk about team rivalries, don't we, more than anything, but this is going to be, as you said, whoever Harley's playing for, whether it's West Coast or whether he does eventually leave, he versus Jason Horn Francis is going to be
compulsive. Harley Reid came through. Somebody's yelled out, "It was your own player."
Yeah, that was the umpire.
Off to Farrell, who's takes the wrong turn.
That's a good tackle.
Yeah.
Good lad.
I don't know if every game Harley Reid spends as much time talking to the umpires and the opposition and the crowd, but
it'll be interesting to watch, won't it, Rue, whether he does change that as time goes on and he matures.
It just must be taxing him.
Yeah, that's
distracting.
Shanahan's angled kick. Baker goes once. Baker goes again.
Tap on.
And tap through. And then goes a catch up.
It's a good point, Rue, that
he's got bucket loads of talent, but he's spending so much time worrying about other things other than communicating with his own players or focusing on what he should be doing or how can he help his teammates. He can't do everything.
Did you ever get distracted on the field? Sim kicks in. Out to the wing, the coach take.
Yeah, but it wasn't terrible. I'm being honest, wasn't terribly verbal. It was the actions thereafter. I always found it's very difficult while you're playing footy and exerting yourself to be yelling and screaming the whole time. It's quite taxing.
Yeah, it's taxing being a midfielder. He's not fit enough to be a gun mid yet. He's going to work on that the next couple of years, but he should just channel a bit more effort into the football side of things. I love watching him. I'm not trying to be too negative on what he's doing. He's a superstar and he could be one of the best in the comp in the future, but just channeling too much energy to the wrong spots at the moment.
6 free kicks he's given away today. They haven't all been loose free kicks, but
yeah,
just a few there that he would have been smarter. I think.
Beautifully roved.
Yeah, took it and goes again. Gives them another chance. They want to fight this out here, West Coast. Probably one of the best efforts of the year. But
yeah, I think that this has been a fantastic display by them today. It's the way we thought it was going to go after a fantastic start of so young in the middle of the ground. We thought they were going to fall away. Just I mean, it means a huge difference if you've had, on average, with your players in the middle of the ground, 7 or 8 pre-seasons. These kids are coming off 2 or 3, a lot of these boys playing in the middle.
Farrell just places it down the line. Oh, that was high. Jimmy, surely. No?
So he get his arm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was Ollie Norton reaching forward from 3 back, so the umpire doesn't see it.
And Sweet, for good measure, just breaks the boots across him. And now he's tapping it down. Jackson jolts out of there. Forward handball from McCarthy. Hutchinson on the move. Very creative, although he sets Baker up for a fall on the tackle. You see Sin back out there.
Yep. I thought Baker might have gone into the midfield in the last quarter to just try and give them some more potency by an established player being in there.
Sin's going to sleep well tonight.
Well, there's Ollie doing what Ollie does. On his hands and knees, bullying away at it.
Hutchinson, clever. Flynn, long way down. Duggan just manages to get the ball out. Oh, Reed pops it. That time from Lorenz. He does pretty well. Back to Boat. And drifting in Farrell. Nice smother from Hoff. Found it way through to Hutchinson now. Reed just got on the boot, quick, smart. Oh, yeah, though. Step ahead.
So that's a panic kick. Double grab, puts him under a bit of pressure, so he kicks within 1 step.
Stand, Bailey. Stay out, Jamie.
And Big Sweetie runs to the wing. That's the option. Just kick it out of my head. I'll take it out of bounds at worst.
Farrell.
And there it goes.
Well, he's gaining more and more experience. Early days in his career. 21 disposals today. Sweet gliding from Lyons, another clearance. Powers on. Lukosius had 2 to beat. Another contest. And Richards was into his turn. There was a drop kick. Now Lukosius is trapped. I think they're just about all out of gas.
Yeah, I think Richards played his best game for Port Adelaide. 21 disposals, 2 goals, 22 disposals now.
The clearances, though, at the end of the day, 53 to 23. It's tough to survive on that.
Yeah, they're able to win it back with they early. But here's Richards, deserves another one to cap off. Oh, goodness, he really could have kicked a bag of 5.
He's never kicked 3 before. Hello.
Thanks, Ruo.
Come on, Richards. Give us something.
Duggan slices them through the middle to Bazzo. I'll enjoy getting back to senior footy. His 4th season. It's his first game for the season. Cole.
He faked a right foot.
Yeah, he did.
And Ollie.
Lloyd brought it. And then he just gifts it back to a lead. There's Liddy.
Yeah, nice kick.
Lukosius. And Jones leading. He's got a bit of space, but Edwards, it's another intercept mark. Came off a pretty fine performance. And the Eagles, one last hurrah here. Jack Williams.
Running hard, Reed.
Sends it into the pocket. Baker. Oh, Crunch, well done.
Oh, it's kills.
Yeah.
See, that kick as well needed to go about 3 or 4 metres further out to the boundary, and then Baker gets no contact and takes the mark.
He always likes to go on with it too, doesn't he? Alan Baker.
Yeah, but he knows the time and place to do it.
Port Adelaide are plus 31 in clearances at the moment. Just had a look. The most ever has been 33.
It's insane,
differential.
Win that one. Well, bashed back by Bazzo. Marrick. And now Long. 20 seconds remaining. Outmarches Williams, but very well handled by Sin.
Be interesting to watch the shaking of hands after the game. Keep an eye on young Jason and who he has a chat with. And
it'd be interesting. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll give each other a big have a laugh, I reckon. Mutter a few extra words, but wait till next time.
Wonder how sincere it'll be.
15 seconds left. Cripps in his 250th for the Eagles. Alia, no sense of occasion.
Why did you dribble it?
Yes, Jace. Jackson taken down. Get a handball out. No, it's got an anti-left after a tremendous scrap at the Adelaide Oval. The West Coast Eagles gave it their best shot, but they couldn't sustain it. The stars really shone when it mattered, and Port Adelaide survived the scare and get their 8th win of the season against the gallant West Coast Eagles. Port by 26 points. No win for Cripps in his 250th game as an Eagle, but smiles all round for Port.
Zach Butters is best on ground all day. Shot out of the blocks in the first quarter. Had a huge start to the game and ended up with 38 disposals. He had 4
conditions, but you got the job done in the end.
Yeah, I think it was
shot out of the blocks in the third.
Oh, but we brought the monitor out just to show you. We want to talk through something, your 2 goals and just some byplay after that. But can you just talk us through your incidences here, because it was so entertaining for us to watch?
Yeah, well, I think there was a bit of heat in it at the end there, which was, I guess, I like a little bit, and I know a few of their players like as well. So I think it's all part of the game. It's all been a good spirit, but it was good to get over the line again.
It was great viewing for us to watch that, but there's just little battles going on, weren't there? Zach was on the left, you on the left. They were coming, they were playing some really good footy as well. But just talk us through your goals as well, in really tricky conditions. First the boundary dribble kick, and then the snap.
Yeah, I was lucky I got Zach to come in my first goal. He come in and gave a block for me, so I appreciated that, and then just got on the move, and luckily the ball just came down. I had good connection with the rucks as well, and then it somehow went through his legs. I don't know.
Nutmegged him, is that what you're letting him know? And here's the snap here.
Yeah, I think, once again, I was just on the move, I think, and I get good blocks from my teammates, which really helps me, so I appreciate it with them.
Congrats on the win, mate. Highly entertaining, and go enjoy it with the boys.
So a win in the end to Port Adelaide. Took them a while to get hold of the Eagles, but they pick up their 8th win of the season. It's not going to be enough to see them play finals, but maybe they can salvage something towards the end. They tried hard, the Eagles, ultimately not good enough. That brings another round of...
All right, there we go. That's it from there, because it's time for the bounce. So we'll just go and have a little bit of a look at some of the stats. I tell you what, Port Adelaide pulled it out of their skill bag, let's say that. What did they end up kicking? 5 goals, 3 in that final term. The Eagles could only manage 1 behind. They did get it down there forward and gave themselves a chance, but 26-point margin was the end result. I tell you what, they did well, the Eagles. They did well for 3 quarters. Look at this. They were in front most of the game. It was only the final quarter they pulled it out, of course. If you're going to be up there with the good teams, you've got to play 4 quarters. But, the Eagles are still got some young players, and they're still up and coming, the Eagles. And it was very, it was an impressive way they played today. So, looking forward to some of the next games. And, of course, with the Eagles travelling, they did extra well to face the Port Adelaide crowd, which isn't always accommodating for the visiting team there. But there we go. It was Port Adelaide just too good today. Let's have a little bit of a squiz at the goal scorers. To round this off and wrap it up, Jason Horne-Francis, Mitch Georgiades ended up with 3 goals apiece. Georgiades, 3 goals, 5. A little bit wayward kicking there. Joe Richards with 2 with Darcy Byrne-Jones. Travis Spoke with a single with Bergman and Baker, of course, for the Eagles. Jack Williams was the only multiple with 2. Bailey Williams. Shannon got 1 with Harley Reid, Flynn, Dewar, Brockman, and Baker. They were the singles, of course, the disposal getters. No other than Zach Butters, the only one in the 30s. 38 touches for Zach Butters. 21 kicks, 17 handballs, 7 clearances. There we go. Jason Horne-Francis, next best on 27. He had a good game, didn't he? 6 tackles, 6 clearances, 3 goals, 1. Can't ask much more than that from a player. The best out there for the Eagles for the ball was 26 touches. That was Harley Reid. I tell you what, he's a fun guy to watch out there on the field. He likes a bit of rough and tumble and play a good bit of football. But look, I think once he has 95% of his mind concentrating on the ball, I think he'll certainly improve. But it was great to see him up and around the ball today, get plenty of touches, 26, 18 kicks, 8 handballs, 7 tackles, 6 clearances, 1 goal, 2. So he put in a fantastic performance, did Harley. Ollie Wines, of course, 25 touches there for Port, rolling on down. Liam Baker, 18 there for the Eagles. Darcy Byrne-Jones ended up with 17 touches, 2 clearances, 2 goals. So good effort from him as we keep on rolling down. Georgiades, as I said, 3 goals, 5 from his 10 kicks. That's all right. He'll kick a little bit straighter. No worries next week. Aliir, another reasonably good game from him. 13 touches, 8 kicks, 4 handballs, and a couple of marks there as well. I'll tell you what, he's hard to get past Aliir. I don't know why they keep kicking it down to him. My gosh. Anyway, there are you. I tell you what, there's one of the people that looked the most unfit out there was actually Willie Rioli. As I said, when he stood the mark and the player played on, he didn't even bother to chase. But, you know, sometimes he's a bit better than that. But we'll see. We'll see in time to come. Well, let me just scroll this back up quickly. Oh, my gosh, why am I on the Sydney one there? There we go, wrong one. Let me just take that one out. Still didn't take that off. All right, disposals. Overall, it was Port Adelaide plus 18. So it was a pretty even game in that situation. Of course, Port Adelaide inside 50s, 52. West Coast 46. So only 6 a difference, both on pretty much season average. So it wasn't too bad. Look, they both had plenty of chances. There we go. I forgot about the mic. Was a little bit away from me. There we go. Hopefully you can still hear. Free kick count, 23-21. Umpires enjoyed doing the whistle today. There's always some good decisions, some ordinary decisions. Look, I know the umpires haven't been the best over the past week or so, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Stoppages, Port Adelaide, 5+ in the hitouts. The clearances, Port Adelaide absolutely smashed the Eagles today in the clearances. 54-25, my gosh, 29 plus to Port Adelaide, +3 in the centre clearances. So it wasn't too bad there from the Eagles, but the stoppage clearances around the ball, what's that, 26, 36? 26, hang on, 26 plus around the stoppage clearance. That's just a huge number. And they'll have to go to work on that, the Eagles, during the week, I think, in their review. Contested possessions, Port Adelaide, bit harder there, 130, 110. Look, it was a good contested game, really enjoyable to watch. That is for sure and certain. Turnovers, surprisingly, both under season average, wasn't too bad. Eagles had more of the marks, around the ground, 86-70, but Port Adelaide directing the ball a little bit better in their forward 50, 14-8, +6 to Port Adelaide. Contested marks, 9-7, both contesting the mark, pretty good. Looking at the tackle count now, good to see both teams going over the season average in the tackle count and inside their 50 tackle count. I think this will be a number that will be really satisfying for the West Coast Eagles coach. Good to see West Coast putting the pressure on. Look, they didn't give up. They didn't give up all day long. It was a fantastic. They just probably ran out of legs a little bit. And of course, just being that younger side, you got to be quite happy with the way they played tonight. Looking at the ladder, of course, Port Adelaide, after 17 rounds, 8 wins, 9 losses, go to 32 points. Of course, with Sydney winning today and Port Adelaide winning today, look, mathematically, it's still possible. They are 3 games outside of the top 8 with percentage. So as good as 4 games out. But look, you just never know. Highly unlikely, but you never know. Still possible. There we go. All right, we did have the poll. 68% went for Port Adelaide. So well done to everyone in the live chat who got Port Adelaide right today. Commiserations to the West Coast Eagles, but hey, remember they did do well. Looking at these two teams next week, who do they play? You asking me? Well, I'll tell you what, Port Adelaide, they're in for a tougher game next week. They're going to travel to Tasmania because Port Adelaide are taking on Hawthorn next Saturday. That should be a tough match for Port Adelaide, but it'll be a cracking match. And of course, for the West Coast Eagles, they've got their chance to win a game next week. They're back at home at Optus Stadium in Perth next Saturday evening. And of course, it's the West Coast Eagles taking on Richmond Tigers. So there we go, just looking at the ladder. 17th play 18th, but I tell you what, that should be a fascinating match. Really looking forward to that match. But AFL football action, it all kicks off again next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. at Marvel Stadium, where Essendon take on the GWS Giants. It should be a pretty good game. Expecting the Giants to have a reasonably good win then. And of course, next Friday night football, I tell you what, here's a game. Here is a game up at the Gabba. We've got the Brisbane Lions taking on the Western Bulldogs. The Brisbane trying to hang on to second, and the Western Bulldogs trying to get back into the 8. So that's going to be a fantastic game. And of course, as I said, Saturday, Hawthorn taking on Port Adelaide. Followed, the next game will be Sydney Swans taking on North Melbourne up at the SCG. I tell you what, that's going to be a great game. Make no mistake about that. Of course, Saturday evening, Carlton taking on Melbourne, and then West Coast taking on Richmond. I might actually do that West Coast Eagles Richmond game because I find this is going to be a more interesting game. Two up-and-coming sides, I think, in the future that'll progress up the ladder in the coming years. I do like the way both of these teams go about it. Of course, next Sunday we've got some great games also. We've got Geelong taking on St Kilda. That should be a ring-a-ding-ding game. And of course, the league ladders, Collingwood taking on Fremantle Dockers in 8th. Dockers trying to hang on to 8th. Collingwood trying to extend their lead on top. And then the final game should be an absolute classic game. This is Adelaide Crows over there at Adelaide Oval taking on the Gold Coast Suns. So the ladder could chop and change a little bit next week, or some teams could get further ahead. Who knows? Tell you what, next Sunday is going to be tricky. Geelong St Kilda, because that game will run into the Collingwood game, which will then run into the Adelaide Crows game. So we might have to do a little bit of the games like we did today. But that being said, at least we'll get to get most of the games covered anyway, so it should be good. I'm just looking back at that fixture. Even if I did Collingwood full game, I'm not going to get the full game of them in. So I think that just about it. That wraps it up. Hey, thanks, Manny, for coming in. Everyone else, Elsa, WA Footy Kid, Albert was in the house. AFL King was in the house. Look, everyone was in the house today. Ryan was there. Everyone was there. But that is about all I've got for this one. So thanks everyone for tuning on in, and don't forget, next Thursday night the action all starts off again. Round 19, we're coming up to the home turn on the AFL home and away season here for 2025. So really gets interesting now. Ladder positions and who we think's going to make the finals, who we think's going to win the finals, make the grand final. Tell you what, that's all coming up in the weeks ahead. So don't miss out on that, folks. It should be just fantastic. All right. That's all I got for this one. Hey, thanks, everyone, in the chat. Appreciate that. Well done for selecting the right team. In the poll, we did it again. Good job. But until next Thursday, when the next game comes underway, we'll see you then. Essendon GWS Giants, Thursday night football. Until then, ciao for now. We'll see everyone at the next game.